And good evening now. We begin tonight with the latest in the Rick Chow murder trial, as today marks 3 years since 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton was shot and killed outside a Columbia gas station.
And today jurors heard hours of emotional testimony from witnesses while also seeing newly released body camera and store surveillance video from the day of that shooting. We want to show you one of those moments right now.
I don't got no water in my pocket, but I'll still get water.
In this video, you see Cyrus wearing a red jacket, telling Rick Chow's wife he does not have any water in his pockets before picking up his backpack and walking out of the store.
And shortly after, Cyrus was chased by Rick Chow and his son, Andy, before the teenager was shot.
Do you have any reason to believe that your dad was up there against his will?
No, sir.
Okay. He voluntarily ran up Springtree Drive to where Cyrus Carmack-Belton was shot, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And nobody stopped him from calling 911, to your knowledge.
No, sir.
Nobody stopped him from printing up these pictures of Mr. Belton, correct?
To my knowledge, no, sir.
The shooting doesn't happen if everybody stays in the Shell gas station that day, correct?
Everyone? Yes, sir.
It doesn't happen, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm correct in saying that is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Shooting doesn't happen if everybody stays put in the Shell gas station, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You don't even know there's a gun if you stay in the gas station! That's right? Your Honor. You don't know he's got a gun if you stay put in the Shell gas station, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The defendant, Chief Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty.
I don't care what that jury said. There is no justification for that. It should never happen again, and it is not open season on black people for anybody to feel like they should be able to do it because the jury found him not guilty.
Because my son was strong. My son was smart. He was loving. He was kind. I cannot believe that from the time he stepped into that store, as we all saw, he was racially profiled. He was shopping. He took 4 waters, he put them back. He even showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was respectful. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty. And letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated, because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. Before Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip, and none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair, and if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not.
Shalom, I'm Saint Jediael with Sons of Israel. and this is going to be a brief lesson titled, God Will Bring Justice for Cyrus. All right. As you've just witnessed, gas station owner Rick Chow was acquitted for murdering 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton while falsely accusing him of stealing bottles of water. Okay. Sincere condolences to Cyrus's mother and family, and I want to tell you that according to the Word of God, God will bring justice for Cyrus. Starting off, as black people, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to Deuteronomy 28, Genesis 49, and Deuteronomy 33. Okay, let's see how God feels about us. All right, I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Do you hear that? God says we are above all people in his eyes. Yes, we may be in captivity. Yes, we may be on the bottom of society, but God still considers us to be above all people. We are his chosen people, all right? And I'm going to go to Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. There's a book of Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel. Notice it says children of Israel, not everybody. Right? Against the whole family. So it's Israelites were a family, all right? It's not a cult. It's not a religion, no. We're a family of people who God chose and gave laws to, all right? Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 44, all right? He gave these laws to us, all right? Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, first, pay attention to verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Okay, so we're the only people God knows and acknowledges. Okay, he doesn't care about anybody else. Now, according to Genesis chapter 19, the Chinese are the children of Moab, and the Japanese are the children of Ammon. You can read that on your own. All right. Okay, so that's their origin. All right. Now, let's go to how God feels about the Chinese people who are the Moabites or Moab. All right. Going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 3. So this is how God feels about the so-called Chinese who are Moabites and so-called Japanese who are Ammon. Okay, let's see how God feels about them. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 3. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Okay, so God does not like them. He doesn't even want them in a congregation. Okay, so all these churches where you see Chinese people gathering, no, that's out of order. God doesn't even want them in a congregation. God wants nothing to do with them. All right, he does not like them. You see, God knows his creation, and all these things that Chinese people have been doing against black people who are Judah Kingdom Israelites, God sees it and knows about it. Going to go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 48, verses 29 and 30. All right. There's the book of Jeremiah chapter 48, verses 29 and 30. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceeding proud. His loftiness and his arrogancy. Notice Chinese people, they're very arrogant. Okay. And his pride and the haughtiness of his heart. Verse 30. I know his wrath, saith the Lord. You hear what God said? He said, I know his wrath, said the Lord. Did not Rick Chow show his wrath when he chased after Cyrus? When him and his son chased after Cyrus? Didn't they show their wrath then? And they were very proud about killing him too. All right. Verse 30. I know his wrath, said the Lord, but it shall not be so. His lies shall not so affect it. And notice Rick Chow's son lied on the witness stand. Okay, he lied on the witness stand. Okay, so God knows his own creation. All right, and God has a judgment for these Moabites too, aka the Chinese people. Okay, gonna go to Zephaniah chapter 2, verses 8 through 11. Zephaniah chapter 2, verses 8 through 11. Here's what God says. This book is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 8 through 11. I've heard the reproach of Moab. What does reproach mean? Reproach means hatred. Okay, making fun of, making black stress relief dolls just to squeeze on. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. I've heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon. Okay, both of them like to insult the Chinese and Japanese, both like insulting black people, right? Whereby they have reproached my people. Which people? Us Israelites, us blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. In this case, in particular, us so-called black people, who are Judah, Kingdom, Israelites, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? Whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against their border. Meaning what? They think they're better than us. Verse 9. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? God destroyed it, okay, with fire, all right? Even the breeding nettles as salt pits, and a perpetual desolation, meaning God's going to destroy them forever, all right? The residue of my people shall spoil them, meaning what? We're going to get our get back. That's right. Once Christ gets back, and we get our powers back, we're going to get our get back against these damn Chinese people, and Chinese and Japanese people, these Moabites and Ammonites. Okay, thus saith the Lord. Okay, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits and a perpetual desolation, the residue of my people, meaning those of us who make it to the kingdom, right, shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. Meaning what? They're going to be our slaves. That's right. Oh, yeah, they don't read this in church. Okay, yes, the Chinese people and Japanese people, the Moabites and Ammonites are going to be our slaves. Thus saith the Lord. All right. And the remnant of my people shall possess them. Verse 10. This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts. Okay. So, yes, as black people, yes, we are the people of the Lord of hosts. Okay. We are the people of the Lord of hosts. We are God's chosen people. All right. Verse 11. The Lord, mean what? The Most High God and Christ, right, will be terrible unto them. For he will famish all the gods of the earth. So yes, both the Most High God and Christ are going to be terrible to these Moabites. All right, going to show the wrath against them. Okay. The Lord will be terrible unto them. For he will famish all the gods of the earth, and men shall worship him, everyone from his place, even all the isles of the heathen. All right, so God does not like these other nations, okay? The kingdom of heaven is only for the 12 tribes of Israel, and you can read Revelation chapter 21, verses 10 through 12, which confirms that, okay? Rick Chow and his entire nation are going to pay for what they're doing to our people, what they've done and what they're still doing, okay? You're going to read Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16 to show their judgment, okay? This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee, what does it mean by devour? Kill, okay, murder. Just like Rick Chow murdered Cyrus Carmack-Belton, all right? He devoured our brother, okay? But this is what God says. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, what does adversary mean? Enemy, all right? And all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. What does it mean go into captivity? Go into slavery. They're going to be slaves under us. You understand? They're going to be slaves under the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And they that spoil thee, what does it mean by spoil? Steal from us. Okay? Are Chinese people in Africa stealing our resources? Yes, they are. Okay? Stealing from the resources that our people have out there? And yes. Luke chapter 21, verse 20 to 24, God ordered... Okay, God's son Christ, okay? Christ ordered us to go to Africa, okay, when the Romans came and attacked Jerusalem. Flee to the mountains, okay? So there are plenty of our people scattered throughout Africa. And the Chinese over there stealing our resources? Yes, they are. And mistreating our people? Yes, they are. Okay? All right, I'm going to read it again. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, meaning what? Just like how they kill us, guess what? They're gonna get that same treatment. Okay? And all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. Meaning what? They're gonna go into slavery. That's right. You Chinese people, you're going into slavery. That's your destiny. You Japanese people too, you're going into slavery. Okay? And all these other nations that spoiled us, all these other nations, okay? All of them have done this. So read Psalms 83, all of them conspired against us and enslaved us at one point. If you read the book of Judges. Okay? And all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Did not Rick Chow and his son pray after brother Cyrus? Yes, they did. Well, guess what? They're going to be a prey once Christ gets back. Okay? All right? Now, you think, okay, are the other nations really our enemies? Let's see what Nehemiah 5:9 says. You got to get that Christianity, God loves everybody idea out of your head, because it's not biblical. All right? So you're going to go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 9. All right, there's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 9, to show that us, as the 12 tribes of Israel, we have enemies. All right? Us black people, yes, we have enemies. Quit walking around acting like we don't have any enemies. We have enemies, as the situation demonstrates. Okay? Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 9. Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Are ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies? The Chinese people are heathens, okay? Japanese people are heathens, okay? Moabites, Ammonites, they're heathens. Okay? They're our enemies, all right? And this is the fate of all the nations, okay? Gonna close this out with Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. So to Cyrus's mother, yes, there will be justice. To Cyrus's family, there will be justice, okay? According to the Bible, okay? And God cannot lie. All right? God the Father, the Most High God, cannot lie. And guess what? Neither can Christ. Neither can the Son Christ. They cannot lie. All right? There's a book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. This is what's going to happen to these other nations. All right? Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity, meaning what? Those who enslaved us, in which all nations did. Okay? He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. So those who enslaved us will be enslaved. They will be slaves under us. Right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So guess what? Them deleting us, guess what? That's going to happen to them. All right? Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Now, who are the saints? Is the saints all races? Let's go to Psalms 148:14. There's a book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people. The leader of God's people is who? Christ. Okay. The praise of all saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord. So as 12 tribes of Israel, we are the only saints, not all races. All right. All right. I'm saying Jediael was sent to Israel. All right. Shalom, be blessed, the Most High God and Christ, the Black Messiah.